Okay guys, get ready with me while I tell you why you should not hang out with strangers on the internet, part 2. Okay, so where I left off last time, it was like 10 minutes left of Cardi, and she's like trying to tell me something, and she tells me that she's not going to be able to take me home because it's going to take her too long to get home. She doesn't have enough money for tolls, and like this, that, and the third. So first of all, I'm like, what do you mean you can't take me home? Like, my phone's dead, my purse was in her car, and just like, she did not tell me that prior to going. So I was like, why would you like tell me last minute? Like, why would you tell me this now? Like, the concert's almost over. So like, I'm like obviously upset, and I'm like I'll pay for the tolls, like it's fine, I have more money in the car, in my purse. And she's just like refusing that. She's like, no, I don't even know why, but she would not like take my money for the tolls. Like, she just did not want to drive me home. So I'm going back and forth with her. I'm like, at this point, let's just leave, because I'm so pissed off from all the other stuff that already happened. And it's just like at the point where I didn't see half of the concert. Now I'm stressed out. I'm gonna have to find my own ride, and like, I'm like, no matter what I'm saying to this girl, she's like refusing to drive me home. I don't know why. I don't know why you would tell me that before. I don't know why you would assume that like I would know that, and I don't know why you would bring someone somewhere and not bring them back when you know they can't drive. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. So like I said, I already gave her like the money, so I was like, at this point, like, can you just give me $20 back, since you were gonna pay for my ticket anyways, so that like I have money on me just in case, like whatever, like I'm gonna be stranded in Philly, like if this girl leaves me, so probably gonna need money, like, you know what I mean? So she's telling me no, like she's not giving me money back, like this and the other. And then she's telling me, like, I already told you, like, I couldn't drive you back. And I was like, no, you didn't. Like, I told you I couldn't drive. There's no text messages that say that. Like, literally pull up your Instagram. And she wouldn't pull up her Instagram, like, whatever. So I'm like, can you at least let me use your phone? She's been on her phone the whole time. She's been calling people the whole entire time. So I'm like, can you just, like, let me call my mom? And can you bring me out to get my stuff at this point if you're not going to bring me home? Because I need money, and my purse is in your car, and I need to call someone so that I'm able to, like, get a ride. So she's telling me her phone's not working, I can't use her phone, and just, like, refusing to let me use her phone. And so I'm, like, starting to get really mad. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, please let me use your phone. Are you fucking serious right now? And, like, at this point, we left from the concert, and we're, like, in the lobby, and, like, all the security guards are near us, and, like, we're going back and forth. So I'm like, you need to take me to the car right now, and you need to give me my phone right now. And she's like not doing either thing. She's refusing to take me to the car to get my stuff. She's refusing to let me borrow her phone, and like she's calling someone, I don't know who she's on the phone with, after she said her phone didn't work. So at this point, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm beyond angry, and I just feel like I'm being set up. So I go up to the security guards. I'm like, this girl like literally brought me here, she's not driving me back, which is fine, but like she didn't tell me that. I'm stuck here. She won't let me borrow her phone to call someone. She won't let me go get my money and my purse from out of her car. Like, this is just ridiculous. I told them that, and then while I'm telling them that, and she's like trying to leave and go to her car. And the security guard's like, no, because she was also watching like the whole fight that was happening, like us arguing back and forth. Like, at this point, like, I usually, like, I don't know. Like, a year ago, I probably would have fought her, but, like, I'm just too old for that now. I don't want to get, like, in trouble or anything. So that's why I ended up telling someone else. And she was like, you're not leaving, like, you're giving her stuff back, whatever. So she made her go to the car and give me my stuff back. She didn't come with us, but on the way out to the car, this girl's telling me, like, how dare I try to get her in trouble? I'm so rude. Like, this is why she's not giving me a ride, after she just spent like 20 minutes telling me she's not giving me a ride either way, and like trying to withhold my stuff from me. So at this point, I get my stuff from the car. I'm like, she's not gonna give me money. She threatens to call the police if I try anything. Like, not that I was going to anyways. Like, and I like get my purse and I sprint back to the Wells Fargo Center because it's cold out. And the security guard told me she would help me get home. She would get me a phone charger, like, just come back up. Like, this is so wrong. She has kids. Like, she can't believe this is happening to me. So now I walk up to the Wells Fargo Center with my purse, and I always have, like, a bunch of stuff in my purse. Like, I have 5 lip glosses, a lighter, this, that, and the other. Like, my money's everywhere. Like, my purse is always a mess. So I look into my purse, And when I open my purse, there's literally nothing but the clay, like, casing that I made for my lighter. My lighter's not even in there. Like, nothing's in there. A 0% juice vape was taken. Like, everything was gone from my purse. So I'm assuming when she, like, disappeared, and then for the 20 minutes after that, we also had to look for her camera. Like, I don't think she ever looked for her camera. I think that when they told me she was taken out and all that stuff, like, she went back to her car or something. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know what the fuck this, like, why this all happened or what the deal was. Like, but definitely don't hang out with strangers because you don't know who they are, like, who they know, or, like, why. Like, you seriously don't know their intentions. But anyways, that's not the end of the story. So, like, she gets me a phone charger, finally get in contact with my mom. My mom's at, like, work, and she went out after, so she was unable to get me, but ended up having someone else come get me, thank God. But yeah, so I'm literally, like, I have no money in my purse, like, nothing in my purse. And, like, the security guard's like, oh my god, like, she literally robbed you too, like, she stranded you and robbed you, like, that's insane. Like, and I'm talking to her, and she's like, this, like, I have kids, like, I understand, and just, like, helping me out. She's like, I'll Uber you if your mom wouldn't pick you up, like, don't even worry about it. And, like, mind you, like, when I'm carrying my purse back, before I even check my purse, I'm already, like, bawling in front of everyone. Everyone's, like, leaving the concert now, so that was really embarrassing. But, like, oh my god, it was just such a bad night. So overwhelmed and stressed out. Like, also when we were arguing back and forth and, like, stuff, I was literally gagging because I was getting, like, so overwhelmed and stressed. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do, and she was like telling me to calm down and, like, getting mad at me because I was upset because she was stranding me in Philly when I live in New Jersey. You don't take people places and then don't tell them that they don't have a ride back prior and then just leave them somewhere. Like, that's so fucked up. So anyways, I'm talking to my mom, I'm waiting for her, like, I'm on FaceTime with her, and then all of a sudden, and everybody's exiting out, like, nobody's allowed in the Wells Fargo Center, they're just letting me in there because, like, they know the situation. I'm crying, like, I'm upset. All of a sudden, she starts walking back up, and the security guard goes out to take care of it, and she tries to say that I stole her credit card, her wallet, and her ID. And, like, the security guard was like, I literally was just in her purse, she has nothing, and I literally had nothing, like, I didn't even have my own stuff. And what I don't understand is how she couldn't pay for the tolls but offered to pay for my ticket, and why she couldn't just give me that money back. Like, none of that makes sense to me. If you were going to pay for it anyway, and this is, like, I don't know, the whole situation just made me really angry, and I definitely learned my lesson. And then somebody was telling me, like, about the train, and honestly, like, first of all, I didn't have a phone, so I didn't know, like, where that was. I'm not a student right now. I just graduated, and I'm, like, not doing anything else, so it wouldn't have been free, and I literally had no money on me, so, like, that really just wasn't an option. But yeah, that's why you shouldn't hang out with strangers on the internet, even if it's a girly. And also, the reason I think she was refusing the money that I was trying to offer her for tolls to get me home is because she already had that money. Like, she literally, ooh, well, there goes my tinsel. But she literally already took that money. So it was like, or like why she wasn't letting me use my phone and all of that. Like, I think I was straight up set up, and I have no idea why.
Why do you want your son to see your cooch? Okay, you guys, get ready with me while I'll tell you the story about how I pierced a predator who tried to use my services to sexually assault her own son in front of me. If you didn't know, I am a piercer, and we come across the strangest things. However, this one took the cake. Basically, everything seemed totally normal at first. This woman brought her 13-year-old son in to get a nose piercing. She had all the correct paperwork, birth certificate, everything. So I got set up and I did his nose piercing. Everything was cool. The kid did really, really good. He was telling me about how he was in correctional school and how they're from Oklahoma and they were just out in Dallas for the day. His mom's in there the whole time, like, obviously. Finish his piercing, I tell him how to take care of it. I'm explaining all the aftercare, you know, all of that, normal piercing things. Everything's going totally fine. Mother set her things down on my counter and was like, oh, I wanted to get a piercing too. I was like, okay, what do you want to get? And she was like, I called earlier about the VCH piercing. Okay, sounds good. Let's get you started on your paperwork and I'll get set up. And her son is still sitting in the room. I'm like, all right, son, we have some cartoons playing out in the lobby. Like, why don't you go watch them while I pierce your mom really quickly? I just can't have you in here right now. And his mom was like, he can stay. It gets weirder than that, okay? Suspect, okay? You know, like, I'm just like, and this kid also, mind you, he's not saying anything. Like, he was so chatty during his piercing. He's sitting like this the whole time. Okay. I was like, oh, I'm really not comfortable with that. I don't think that's very appropriate. She goes, They let him be in the room for my nipple piercings. Okay, I'm not a fucking freak. What the fuck? It's like, oh, well, some people's policies are different. I'm sure it's different in Oklahoma. No hate to Oklahoma, I'm sorry. She started arguing with me. She started being like, well, I just don't understand why he can be in for my nipple piercings, but not my VCH piercing. Mind you, to do a VCH piercing, you have to be laying down butterfly spread, nothing on. Bought from pants down. 13-year-old son is not, I'm not gonna let him watch you butterfly spread on my table. What? At this point, I'm getting frustrated and I'm getting uncomfortable. And the kid's just standing there like, and she's like arguing with me, trying to let me keep him in the room. I understand if you're worried about the safety of your child and like leaving him like in a waiting room. There's no reason he's not gonna be safe sitting out there. I'm getting heated. At this point, I'm starting to realize it's not like a safety thing. She's not worried about like him. She ended up going and making him sit alone in the car. So obviously she wasn't worried about his safety. He's sitting in your car by himself in downtown Dallas. Wouldn't let him just sit on the couch? Huh? So like something's like not computing with me. I'm starting to wonder if I'm just being dramatic, like maybe my family's just not close. I don't know if I'm being weird or not. Like, is that weird? The whole situation made me so uncomfortable, especially after she sent him to the car instead of letting him stay inside and watch TV. Having to do her piercing while her son is sitting in the car, and it gets even worse. She's like, how much is it? I'm like, it's gonna be $100. This bitch goes, I only have $40. What? You came so unprepared without even enough money to pay for your piercing? Probably because purely all she wanted was to assault her son in front of somebody. Give me $500 right now not to call CPS. I'm like, you have Zelle, you have Cash App, do you have Venmo, do you have PayPal? Nothing. She didn't have anything. I'm like, now you're just lying to me. Obviously, I was very sweet. I was like, it's okay, just give me what you have, no hard feelings. Oh my gosh, just leave me a 5-star review and we'll be even. Took our plates down, oh my God. I'm scared. Somebody please tell me if I'm being dramatic or not.
Almost 4 years ago, 2 women entered my car in Utah and tried to kidnap my children. I kid you not. This is not my usual content. I'm here to spread joy and happy things, but yesterday I was on here scrolling and I saw Jane, a very famous creator, guys. She's the one who does like all the Utah mom parodies and stuff. Hi Jane, I love you. Shared a scary experience in Utah in a parking lot with her kids, and it brought back a flood of memories. This is to help educate other moms, not to spread fear. It will be the one and only time I probably ever talk about this. So one morning I drove to the gym with my small children. I had a new car, so I didn't know that when I parked, the doors automatically unlocked. To see where this is going, pull up to the gym, front row parking, broad daylight, maybe about 8:30 a.m. in Utah. It's generally very safe. My 2 young children are in the rear seats. Not in this car, it was a different car. Each morning I would make my son a bottle, so I'm mixing up his formula. Usually I would unbuckle my toddler and let him stretch his legs. I kid you not, I had a feeling, just wait. So I didn't. I'm sitting there making the bottle when I hear my 2 rear doors open up. Now this is where I am so thankful that all those posts online prepared me for this moment. And what do they advise? Be vicious, be mama dog, cuss, go crazy. So they open the back doors. I'm see women put their hands in towards my kids, scream, what the F are you doing? Get the F out of my car, get the HOA. And I just, the women immediately slam the door shut. I lock my door as fast as I can. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what just happened? I'm in shock, but my door is locked. I slowly unroll my window because the one woman is still standing there, not directly across from me, but like by my child. Rolled on my window. I said, hey, sorry I yelled at you, but what were you doing? And she goes, no habla inglés. Intuition is like, don't trust her. I'm sitting there. I start looking for unmarked vehicles. And at the back of my car, there is now a 3rd woman. There are 3 women not leaving my car. There's 3 women behind my car and they're not leaving. And they're pointing at the door with my toddler, who was nonverbal at the time. Anyway, sorry guys, this brings up emotions. They're pointing and I'm thinking, are they pointing at the iPad or is this something more nefarious? So I decide that I'm gonna get them away from my kids. I got my keys, I unlocked just my door, and I got my phone out. Lock it, and then I get my phone in their face and I say something to the effect of, get away from my kids, get away from my car. I know you can understand me. I'm calling the cops, get away. They understood what I said. Let's just put it that way. At this time, two innocent looking guys are leaving the gym and they look at me and I just say, hey, woman, these women just tried to come into my car. I think they were trying to kidnap my kids. Do either one of you speak Spanish? And the guy was like, yeah, I went on a mission. I speak Spanish. And I said, can you ask them what was going on? And they go to talk to them. And of course, the women don't comply. They won't talk with them. At this point, I think my adrenaline is going. Women inside the daycare are familiar with my children. If I can get them dropped off, then I can call the cops real fast. But I just want to get my kids safe at this point. I'm not going to sit in my car like a target and have them come after me again. And I'm not going to drive back to my home and have them follow me. They are off. I don't know how far. Let's just say like, I don't know, 5 or 6 cars away from me. So I look in my rearview mirror, I don't see anybody, and I decide, okay, let's get out of here. I unbuckle my child. My baby was in a Duna, which is like so fast to take out, right? Get him on my hip, open the door. I'm still looking. They're there. I don't see anyone around me. And I take out the Duna, slam the car, shut it. And they're still standing there. And I yell at them again, stay away from my kids, stay away from my car. Mama carries in her car, and I let them know it, if you get what I'm saying. I run inside with my kids, get them dropped off. The girls at the gym were so nice, so I call the cops immediately. I call the cops. I file a police report. This was my first time calling the police for anything like this. They were not exactly helpful, I will tell you that. They said, well, why did you leave? Where did they go? What vehicle did they get in? Okay, some woman just got into my car and I should have stayed. So I go outside at that time. They're gone. I don't know if I did the right thing leaving, but I know that I protected my kids. That I am more hypervigilant than ever in parking lots. If you have special needs children, I would highly suggest a doctor's appointment to get a handicap parking pass, so you're not an easy target if you're alone with your kids. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I'm a Midwest girl, so I have a concealed you know what. All else fails, yell, scream, go crazy, scare them away. If they're not child abductors, you can always apologize. But the alternative is, if you're not, like, scary things can happen. So there's my story. I don't share that to spread fear, and I will probably not talk about this again. I'll respond to questions and stuff. But I'm here to spread joy, talk about the parties, family stuff, travel. Jean's story yesterday just made me relive mine, and I'm glad that her and her kids are safe, and I just want to keep other moms and kiddos safe. So I hope this helps. Stay safe, and yeah, just be alert. And I don't know how to end this. This is really, really weird. Not my usual content. So we'll resume normal content after this.
Okay, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. I have another dating story time. And unfortunately, this one's not good. So I met who I thought was a nice guy on a dating app. And we've been talking for a couple weeks now. We've talked on the phone a few times. We were actually supposed to have our first date last week, but he forgot that he had a work event midway through the day, after we already made the plans. And I was butthurt about that, and I gave him a hard time about it, and I honestly didn't really want to talk to him after that, because if you can't man your calendar and be an adult, you shouldn't be dating. Don't waste other people's time. But he insisted he was going to make up for it and, you know, said all the right things, did all the right things. And so I gave him another chance, and so we had our first date tonight. Mind you, we had already decided we were going to Mod Market. That was what was planned. I didn't get off of work until 8 o'clock, which he knew of in advance. And so yesterday I looked up the time Mod Market closed. They close at 9. I get off at 8. We're going to get there at like 8:15 and have a 45-minute date and be rude to the workers. No, thank you. So I'm telling him this, and he's like, oh, I'll find another place. I'm like, okay. So he picks an Italian place. Mind you, we're in Dallas. This place is off Royal Lane. I've never been there. Apparently he's been there, so he knows what it costs, right? You would think so. So on the date, he checks with me throughout the day to make sure we're still good to go on this date. I'm like, yep, cool. Does all the right things. I look up the menu while I'm at work, and I'm like, it's a little expensive, but like, he chose it, so whatever. And I'm prepared to pay for myself if I need to. Given the fact that he's making up for bailing on the first date, I shouldn't be. But I'm prepared to if I need to, because I'm an adult who can take care of myself. So anyway, we're on this date. First of all, he orders wine. We didn't talk about if we were drinking or not. He orders wine, and he's like, oh, you're not going to get anything? I'm like, okay, I guess I will. I felt like I got talked into getting a cocktail. And then I get a cocktail, and he's moving it around the table. Like every time I take a drink and I set it down, he moves it. Can you stop touching my drink? I don't know you and it's freaking me out. And so I'm like, hey, like, why do you need to touch my drink? Like, what's going on there? And he's like, oh, well, I'm just afraid you're gonna knock it over. I'm like, no, I'm good. And he's like, or maybe I'll knock it over. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it over here. Like, he touched my drink too many times to count. Sorry, this is the place my cat likes to sit. So that was weird. I got talked into getting a drink. Then he wanted to touch it. No, thank you. I don't know you. And then we order our food. I got a Caesar salad, mind you. Okay. I didn't get an expensive menu item. He ordered a full meal and wine and my cat's chewing on my hair. Please. You're not helping with the story time. So just a weird situation in general. Then the waiter brings the check and sets it down with the man because he can tell we're on a date, right? He looks at the check and he goes, oh, I wasn't prepared for that. I went, do you want me to get mine? And he's like, I mean, yeah, that would be great if that's okay with you. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not okay with me because you are making up for the fact that you bailed on our first date and you're supposed to impress me with how much of a gentleman you are on this date. And this is what you're going to do. Also, my meal wasn't even expensive. Like, you can't cover $30. So he is like, do you want to split the check? I'm like, no, I will get mine. Mine was cheaper than his. No, I don't want to split the check. I don't even want to pay for myself on this first date that you insisted was going to be magical. And now you want me to pay for part of yours too? Absolutely not my guy. I just got out of a 10-month relationship with a man who owes me thousands of dollars. No. So he's like, okay, yeah, you'll just get yours. I'm like, okay. So the waiter comes over. I'm like, hey, we need to split the check. And he's like, oh, do you want it in half? I'm like, no, buy item. So I pay, he pays, we leave. He insists on walking me to my car, which he didn't need to do because I could see it from the front door. Also, you're not fooling me with your gentleman act. You just proved it to me that you're not one in the restaurant. So anyway, he opens the door for me, insists on doing that. I am like trying to get my car. He hugs me. I'm like, okay. He tries to kiss me. No, I'm not attracted to you. No, this is little boy behavior. No. So I get into the car and then he leans into the car. He smells like wine, which I was already not attracted. And then here we are. And he hugs me. He's like, one more hug. And he tries to kiss me again. No, I already freaking swerved the first time, buddy. What makes you think I'm going to do it this time? So he kisses me on the cheek. I'm like, ugh. And he's like, okay, like text me when you get home. Okay. So yeah, don't give the nice guy a chance. Chances are they're just as shitty as the guys who tell you who they are at the beginning. Mind you, this wouldn't have been a big deal except for that this guy has been talking big game for the entire like week since the last date he bailed on. And he insists about how he's a great guy and he's a gentleman and I'm so beautiful and blah, blah, blah. No. So yeah, I've actually never ghosted a man, but I might ghost this one. He texts me, let me know when you get home. I don't really want to. I think I'm just going to be like, I'm home and then block his number. So yeah, getting back into dating has not been fun. I don't recommend. But I also don't want to be alone. So, woo!
Okay guys, story time on how my brother cheated on his fiance with me. Okay. So basically they met in California and he proposed in California and so they moved back to Minnesota because that's where my family is. And they moved in together and mind you, he cheated on her in California with a girl after they got engaged. And she just found out about it right when they moved to Minnesota together. So they've been living together for 6 years now, I think. And so basically when she found out, I also knew because he gave me his old phone, and first of all, I saw the messages with the girl and I saw the messages with his fiance, because he didn't clear his phone, even though he said he cleared his phone, but he didn't. And I'm Snoopy, obviously, like, I'm nosy. So I snooped through his phone and I read all the messages and I read all, like, the texts and everything. And mind you, I also found a video of them doing the devil's tango in the phone. I was traumatized. I was like in 5th grade too. No, I don't know, somewhere around there. Okay, anyway, so then they moved to a new house farther away. And mind you, he doesn't have a job either. She's providing for both of them. She's had like 5 jobs because she doesn't like any of the jobs that she does, so she switches jobs, and he plays poker for a living. Great. Okay, so she was at her job. She was going to be gone for a month doing her job, and so he invited me over, and he was like, oh, you want to come play pickleball? And mind you, he's my brother, so I don't think anything of it. Well, I do, because he's like a fucking weirdo and creep, and he's tried to kiss me multiple times, and I found that video, and he like ropes me, or used to. So I went over to his house and we played pickleball, and then he's like, oh, you can shower first because yeah, I'll just make dinner and you can shower first. Mind you, before that he tried getting me drunk on this alcohol that I had no idea what it was. No idea what it was. He made me drink a whole glass of it, and it was straight alcohol. Don't know what the alcohol was, but he was on a diet, so he couldn't drink alcohol. So he's like, you can drink, like, just drink all of it. Like, I don't want to waste it. Right? Okay. So I had to drink it. Well, I drank part of it, and then when he left, I poured the rest down the drain. So I wasn't drunk or anything, because I was actually disgusting, and I was not about to drink all that. Okay, anyways. So I'd go into the shower, and I'm taking a shower, and he knocks on the door, and he's like, oh, can I come in and go to the bathroom? There's one bathroom in his house, so I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And he's my brother, so, you know. But then I literally knew the second that he knocked on the door, I was like, oh, please, Lord Jesus, don't let anything happen. And then he's peeing, and I hear him peeing. So I was like, okay, so he's just going to the bathroom, it's fine. And then he takes off all his clothes, and he's like, I'm coming into the shower. I was like, no, you're not. You are not coming into the shower. And he's like, yeah, I am. And he came into the fucking shower. He came into the shower, and he walks in, and he's like, he just pulls the curtain open. I'm like, I grabbed the curtain, and I was like holding it over my body because I was naked. Obviously, I was in the shower, taking a shower. And he's like, I just thought we'd save water. And I was like, no, get out. And I was screaming at him to get out. Screaming at him. And obviously, he tried touching me and stuff. So yeah, that was great. And then he finally gets out of the shower, and then I get out, and I'm bawling my eyes out, obviously. My niece came in while I was telling the story. Okay, so I come out of the shower, he's in a towel, no clothes on, just in a towel, and he's like, I'm sorry, I thought it would be funny. How did you think that would be funny? Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Okay, and then, so I was freaking out, I was traumatized, obviously, because, I mean, he's made jokes about taking showers before, but I didn't actually think he was gonna get in the shower with me, which he did. And then, so after that, he was like, oh, I cleaned the sheets for you too. I cleaned all the sheets in my bed for you so we can sleep there together. Honey, you're 28, I'm 15. I'm not sleeping with you in the same bed. After you tried to do that too, I'm not sleeping with you in the same bed. Are you freaking psycho? Like, none of my other brothers would do that. None of them. So, okay. Keep going on with the story. So he wanted to sleep with me in the same bed. Mind you, he still doesn't have any clothes on because he still hasn't taken a shower. So then he goes to take a shower, and he comes out just in his underwear. Are you kidding me? Put your damn clothes on. Okay, anyways, keep going. And so then after that, he tried getting me high so I wouldn't remember anything from that night. He was like, oh, you want to smoke some weed? I was like, no, I'm good. And he was like, oh, just try it. It's not even that bad for you. And blah, blah, blah. Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Who do you think I am? Are you kidding me? Okay. So then after that, I was still freaking out, and so I pretended to fall asleep on the couch. And I was like texting my ex because we were still friends, and I still loved him, obviously. And so he was like telling me what to do. He's like, just fall asleep on the couch while you're watching your movie. It's like, okay. So I fell asleep on the couch, and then in the morning he just brought me home, and he's like, I'm really sorry for that. But, like, I thought it'd be funny, but clearly you didn't think it was funny. Like, okay, right. And when he came in the shower, he was, like, butt naked, and he didn't have anything over him. So, right, that was traumatizing time. Very traumatizing. And then CPS came to my school one time because of that, and everybody at school was, like, making fun of me, basically, because CPS came to my school. And I was bawling. I was bawling my eyes out because I was so scared. So, yeah, that's my story time. Oh, and they're getting married next Saturday. And she knows everything that happened. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you getting married to him? Are you stupid? But, yeah, that's the end of my story time, basically.
Get ready with me while I tell you the story about the girl that lied about her identity and disappeared in 8th grade. So I was new to the school because I moved across the country, so I had to go to orientation. And she was also new. We didn't have any sort of conversation that day, but we kind of made polite eye contact and saw each other and both knew, like, okay, if we see each other in the hall, it's like, let's say hi. So the next day was school, and I hadn't seen her up until my second to last class, which was gym. I walked in and she was sitting on the bleachers and I was like, oh, no way, like, cool, I know someone in this class, great. And I kind of sit next to her, but not close enough for a conversation. I'm very introverted, like, starting a conversation is actually one of my biggest fears. So I was like, let me just sit close enough to her, like, I don't know. And after the gym teacher was, like, done giving everything out with syllabus stuff, I started walking to the locker room, and I was kind of walking slow, like, hoping that she would, like, catch up, and then I was like, screw it. And so I kind of, like, was like, hi, and we started talking, and then we walked to the locker room together. So while we're in the locker room, we're just talking, getting to know each other. Afterwards, I mean, we both went our separate ways, but I got her number, and we both exchanged Snapchats, and we were just, like, texting back and forth once we got home, and it was pretty normal. About 4 days went by, and I had invited her over because at this point I had met a few friends, and I knew one person because we were on the same soccer team. Because before I started school, I tried out for a soccer team. One of the girls happened to go to the same school as me at the time, which was perfect. So I knew someone, and I had met a few friends, and I was like, do you guys want to come over? And they made it work. She was like, no, like, I can't. And I was like, okay. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. I mean, if you can't come over, you can't come over. And so the next week I saw her at school, and we were like, oh, we missed you. And she was like, yeah, I just couldn't come. And also, important part of the story, we played Fortnite together. So I had that too. This is important to the story, I promise. And so she's like, yeah, I just couldn't come. And I'm like, oh, good. We can always just do something another time. And we keep hanging out throughout school. And one day she just doesn't show up. And I'm just like, okay. And I text her, I'm like, hey, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, my mom's boyfriend is just doing some weird stuff, and, like, I don't know, like, I just couldn't come to school today. And I'm like, okay, it's all good. Respectfully, I mean, we're in 8th grade, so in my head I'm like, oh, I don't think I need to know all that, but I hope she's okay. And the second day comes by, and I don't text her this time because I'm like, okay, she told me that, I don't really want to, like, bother her, but she actually texted me. She was like, so I'm transferring schools. And I read that text. I'm actually in class, and I'm like, huh? I'm a little sad now because we were actually, I know it had only been like a week and a half, but we were getting pretty close. We would hang out all the time, like in school, because we could never hang out outside of school, which I was young. I don't know if 8th grade is young like that, but things weren't clicking to me, I guess, at the time. And I was like, dang. And, like, I had met a few friends, but we were like this because we were both new. So we were both kind of like, okay, at least we have each other. And I was like, you're transferring? She's like, yeah, you know, I just have to. And I was like, okay. Halloween was kind of coming up too. So we were planning Halloween costumes together because she wasn't moving out of the state or anything. She was actually moving a few towns over. It was like a 30-minute drive. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I'd be down to do a Halloween costume. And we still texted a little bit. until everything got erased. Everything. Her Snapchat didn't exist. Instagram, gone. Fortnite, gone. Number, blocked. Literally everything. Everyone else who had met her, blocked. Like, there was no trace of her. Even if you looked her up, like, on a different account, like, my friends and I were like, let's look her up. Gone. It made absolutely no sense. None at all. And long story short, she told me the school that she was transferring to. When I was like, wait, no way, you're transferring? She was like, yeah, I'm going here. Some people reached out to us and like, do you know this girl? And we're like, no. Well, like, yeah, but not really, because we thought we knew her. And now it's like, and they're like, yeah, she reached out that she was coming to this school, showed up, and then never came back. I don't know. You're probably wondering how they knew how to reach out to us. One of the girls that I had happened to literally become friends with ran like this account for our middle school, and some people from that school found it, like desperately trying to see like, do you guys know anything about this girl? Because she told them like, oh, I came from this middle school. So they reached out to the page, and one of my friends ran it, and she was like, we don't know anything. All of us are blocked. All of us. So yeah, that's pretty much it to this story. It's actually very, very weird. And I remember struggling just with the whole move. My mom was still living in our old house at the time because she had to finish work before moving across the country. So it was just my dad and I. It was a very like weird time. And so I would go to the counselor and just talk about that and just how moving has been kind of hard. And I also brought up, like, I met a new friend here who was also a transfer, but she happened to leave. So my counselor was just obviously asking a few questions, like, about, oh, like, how'd you guys meet? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, just an orientation and stuff. And she's like, oh, who is it? So I was just continuing to talk about it. I was like, yeah, she just moved for personal reasons. I don't know. And she was like, huh. She was like, kind of rethinking, she was kind of recounting like the transfers, because she was a guidance counselor, but she also helped with kids who were like coming in and like getting acclimated to the school. So she was like, what's her name? And I told her. She looked her up in the system and was like, there's nothing there. Now I'm kind of freaking out. I'm like, am I crazy? And I'm like, no, she had other friends here, like she met other people. And I'm like, what is going on? So now my guidance counselor was like, let me go ask a different guidance counselor who she would have had, because it was my last name. So she's like, maybe she's not coming up on my system because her last name doesn't fall within like the names that she's responsible for. So she goes and asks, and that woman's like, And even if you transfer, I mean, you're not just deleted from the system. You'll show like transferred schools. And they're like, we don't know. So I go back to my friends with this info and I'm like, guys, I don't know what happened. She legit just disappeared. And now it's kind of become a thing at the school. And they're like, where did this girl go? To this day, I don't know. Once a year, I'll look her up to see like if she ever just like returned, but nope. On a real note, I was like super sad about this at the time. I was just like, wow. She just like left and changed her name, or was that her real name? Or I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if this is gonna get any traction, but if it does, I don't want to share the videos I have with her. I have 2 videos and her face is like perfectly shown in them. It was 8th grade, so we were playing around with filters. So you can clearly see her face. I don't know if this has happened to anyone. Like, I don't really want to say her name. Unless if this does do something and someone else had a similar experience around that time, then maybe, because it's been years. Now I'm a junior in college and I don't think about it at all. I just thought this would be a funny story time. But also, should we uncover this? I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And moral of the story, this might be the reason why I have trust issues. I don't know. Okay, bye.
Hi, my name is Miley Downs. I'm sure you have heard about me or my situation with my mother, Lindsay Downs. I have not spoken up due to the fact that I've been trying to be the bigger person, but lies have been told about me and my family, and when it comes to my family, then it's a problem for me. So first, I'm going to address the lies, and then I'm going to tell my story. So first, I want to address the lies that have been told about my family and my home. It has been said that my home is overcrowded and unsanitary. My stepmom, Hayden, is a stay-at-home mom who stays at home and cleans all day long. There's just no way my house is unsanitary. And my family built onto their house to make me a bedroom just so that I would have a bedroom to myself and it would not be overcrowded at all. The next thing that has been told is that I am vaping and doing drugs. I am doing neither of which. I have been to the doctor, and my parents have helped me quit, because in the past I did, but they have helped me quit. Now, there is a picture circling the internet of me with a vape in my hand. That is from March of 2025 when I was living with my mom. That picture is not from now. You can tell that it is not from now. Ever since I have moved in here, I have had fun colors in my hair. There was no color in my hair at the time. This is the picture circling the internet, and you can very clearly tell that it is not from now. Due to the physical and emotional stress that Lindsay put me through, I now take a low dosage of Lexapro because I was having severe depression and anxiety. This medicine has helped me a lot in the past 2 months, and it has done a lot for me. The next thing I want to address is the rumors about my boyfriend and his mother. I would just like to say that Danielle is the best mother to her children, and none of the such things that have been said have actually happened. No, I do not live with my boyfriend. No, there is no photo of us laid up together, and no, we have not been at that house unsupervised. Also, it was said that my boyfriend is about to turn 18 years old. He just turned 16 of April in this year. He will be 17 of April of 2026. I will be 17 in July of 2026. He is nowhere near 18 years old. Now, Lindsay is not a suitable parent, and I will explain why. She has claimed to be taking a low dosage of Effexor for anxiety. This is not true. This medicine that she takes, I'm not entirely sure what it is for, but without it, she does not act like a normal human being. She is completely dependent on this medicine. Without it, she is a very angry person. She's out of control and very emotionally unstable. And with her trying to get pregnant right now, she is not taking the medicine like she should. And I have seen firsthand the way she acts without this medicine, and it is not okay. She also drinks on this medicine, which is not recommended at all. Her go-to is a sex on the beach, which she has every single time that we go to a Mexican restaurant, which, if you're from the South, you know is pretty often. They go to bars and horse races, and she drinks at all of these, and drinking on this medicine is not safe at all. This is just one reason that proves that mentally and emotionally she is not stable enough to be a parent. Next, my absences in school are not for no reason. Last week, I had a UTI that almost made me go septic. All week long, I was so sick that I could not roll over in my bed, and my stepmom, Hayden, took care of me and waited on me hand and foot all week long. As well as I had to stay home from school for about a week due to the fact that we were scared Lindsay was going to come and try to take me from school. I would also like to say that I am 16 years old and have a phone of my own. I could text my mother or call my mother whenever I want to. My parents do not care that I do that, but I choose not to because I do not want to speak to her. Now, I did not quit volleyball. I will be trying out for volleyball next season, but volleyball season is over for the year. At my old school, I was not allowed to play volleyball as per my old principal because he said that he could protect me during school, but that he could not protect me during practice. I now go to a new school and will be trying out for volleyball next year, as well as doing cheer and any other sport that I can due to it being my senior year and me wanting to do as much as I can. Now, she has said that these text messages are out of context, so I'm going to give you context. First off, this one, I had accidentally left my makeup bag in her bathroom, so she pulled maggots out of a goat's foot using the tweezers out of my makeup bag. This one was right before the first time I ever met Chad. She told me that I better impress him, and she had talked to me about the fact that he had a lot of money and that I needed to impress him so that she could be with him. But the only thing she really ever talked to me about him was his money. This is the rest of that conversation, of her just telling me that I better impress him. I guess I was not good enough. Now, these are text messages between me and Chad, of him saying that we had things to do, and him getting mad at me because I forgot to clean the kitchen. And you can see how much we were at Mexican. They were at Mexican, talking about how I needed to hurry up because when I got home I had to clean the kitchen. Now, this is a screenshot of my mother's TikTok saying that the villain era is deserved on me and that she wants to get revenge on me. I'm not sure if getting revenge on a 16-year-old is very mature, but that is her mindset, so that is what we'll go with. Now I will tell my story. So I got my tonsils out on April 25th of this year. She took me there, and when I went into surgery, she left, and my grandmother, her mom, came and picked me up, and my ex-boyfriend at the time stayed the entire time. When we all got home, they were arguing about who was going to have to stay and take care of me, and my boyfriend, who had been taking care of me the entire time, offered to take me to his house and him and his family take care of me, and that is exactly what we did. So I stayed and lived with my ex-boyfriend for about a month, while he took care of me every single day when I got my tonsils out, and I continued to stay there after that for a little bit. He would wake up 3 times a night in the middle of the night and give me my medicine and then go back to sleep, wake up, and go to school the next day. Every single day for weeks. During this, she was out living the life with Chad, just doing whatever she wanted to do while I was laid in bed sick. So this continued until I got in trouble on May 19th, and they made me move in the house with them, Chad and Lindsay, and Chad continued to yell at me all night long when I had met him twice. All summer long, we were made to work on the farm from starting around 7 or 8 o'clock, working until 5, 6, 7 o'clock, maybe possibly later, just depending on however Chad felt that day. And we would do the normal things you do on a farm, but it's very hard work. We did not get a choice in this, and we did not get paid for this at all. Towards the end of the summer, we were allowed to work for money at the car lot, cleaning and detailing cars, and I would run errands a lot, but that was the only money we were allowed to make. We were not allowed to have jobs anywhere else. Now, in September, I got in trouble again, and my mom brought me here, and my mom and my parents had a conversation. My parents said that they would allow me to come stay here, and my mother chose to take me back anyways after saying that she did not want me there. If you want to hear the voicemail of them saying that they did not want me there, I can show that in another video. So the next day, my parents called CPS, and CPS came to the house and told me that they wanted to see the bruises on me. I showed them the bruises, and they continued to try to say that those were from volleyball, when volleyball does not leave bruises on your butt or bruises on your knees as much as they were on my knees. I have to make a part 2, so go look for my part 2.
Story time of what happened to me last night around 6:45, 7 p.m. at Target. I was in Target for like 20 minutes, if that. I come out to my car and I put my groceries in my trunk, and then I walk to my driver's side to open the door, and as I'm going to open the door, a bunch of coins fall out of my door handle. And it's dark, I'm confused, I don't really know what's going on, but I keep trying to open my door, and that's when like a quarter gets lodged sideways in between my door handle and my car door, and my door handle is like jammed open. And in that second, I instantly knew like something was wrong and I needed to get the heck out of there. So I turned around and I start dialing on my phone. And as I turn around, I notice the car next to me. The engine's off, the lights are off. There are 2 people sitting inside. No phone lights, nothing on inside. And I bolted for the front door. I didn't get a good look at them. I didn't stick around to get a license plate number. Thinking back now, like, I regret that, but in that moment, like, I just knew to get out of there. So I go inside and I ask to speak to a manager, but the manager was taking too long to come. So I ended up just dialing 911 myself. And then I walk back outside, right to the entrance, standing on the sidewalk. And from there, I can see my car. Like, I'm not parked out in BFE. I'm like 7 to 8 cars back from the grocery entrance. So I can see my car, and I can also see that that car that was sitting there less than 5 minutes ago is now gone. The police officer pulls up within like 2 minutes, and I tell him what's going on. He walks me to my car. He has his flashlight so he can see all of the coins on the ground that had fallen right by my door handle. And that quarter that was like lodged sideways is now flat up against the car, and my door handle is shut. So I can only assume that somebody was trying to get into my car when I went back into Target. Thankfully, when I was running back into Target, I was pressing my lock button because I didn't know at that point if my car was unlocked or locked. But he checked under my wheel wells and in my gas tank for a tracker. And he did say if there was a tracker in my car, which he didn't think there was, but if there was, my iPhone would likely ping it within the next couple of days. I did think to ask him about the camera that was on the side of the building, but he said considering my driver's side was on the other side of the camera, like depending on how tall the person was, the camera probably didn't pick anything up. And I was so like disoriented and frazzled that I did not question it, and I just wanted to get the hell out of there. So he was still there when I left, so I don't know if he went inside and checked with Target or let them know what was going on, but maybe I should call the police department and follow up, or go into Target myself, see if they will look at the cameras for me. I don't know if that's something they'll do, but I guess it's worth a shot. But thinking back, like, I'm thankful for 1, that I did not bend down to pick the coins up, and 2, there was a guy that walked out of Target maybe like 10 to 15 seconds behind me, and his car was parked like in front, like adjacent to mine, and he was getting in his car as I was like fumbling with my door handle. So, you know, maybe they didn't get out of their car if they did have something to do with it, because he would have seen everything that happened. So yeah, super scary. I've never felt such raw fear kick in, and I never want to feel that again. But yeah, stay safe, everybody.
I'm having one of those moments. I'm having one of those moments. I'm having one of those moments.
Okay, if you've been following my TikTok at all, you know that I was recently heartbroken, and I'm also going out of the country, and those are 2 things that are happening at the same time, and I am going to explain to you the backstory of this because it's just too much in my head, and I need to lay out all the facts because I'm so anxious about what's going on. I met a man in July in New Orleans, Louisiana, where I was there for work for a trip, and I met him. We had a good time together. This is a Cliff Notes version because there's just too much. There's so much. But we hung out. We had a great time. Whatever. When I left New Orleans, I thought to myself, wow, I'm so glad I met this person. That was such a great experience. He was asleep when I left because I had to leave, whatever. And he was passed out. I gave him a kiss on the forehead, and I was like, thank you for our time together. And that was it. He doesn't even know that I did that. I left. He is friends with a friend of mine. They've been friends for like 15 years. That's a separate thing. I work with this other person he's friends with. I board the plane to come back to Los Angeles, where I live. I get a text from him saying, hey, it's such and such. I got your number from such and such. I had an amazing time with you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I will say that the time we had together was extra. There was something really beautiful and special about it that I haven't felt in a very, very, very long time, especially off tops like that. He's like, I would love to take you out. His words were, I would not forgive myself if I did not take you out properly. To which I say, that's sweet, but I live in California and I'm on my way back there now. To which he says, I know. If
it's okay with you, I would really love to come to LA and take you out. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, sure. Because men always say things, they don't do them, right? So I'm like, okay. He flies to LA. He books himself an Airbnb. He rents a car. He reaches out to me. We were talking a little bit. He reaches out to me and he's like, I want you to know, however much time you would like to spend with me, I would love to spend that time with you. But if you change your mind, if you don't want to go, if for any reason, that's totally fine. I'm an adult and I can get around the city by myself. I have friends here. Like, please don't feel pressured. I feel a call. Like, I feel very, like, my intuition is telling me I need to do this, so I'm going to do it. But if you want to back out at any time, please, like, you don't owe me anything, which is true. He comes to LA. This is the part I can't get into the nitty gritty because it's too painful. But basically, he comes to LA and we essentially fall in love, okay? He was here for a little bit less than a week. Oh my God. At this point, I haven't felt this way about a guy in literal years, okay? And it's not for lack of trying. We have, our values are in common, like the sex is great, the conversation is good. My nervous system was so calm and at peace in a way it had never been around a man before. And my body was like, yes, like I feel so safe here. During this trip, he asks me, he said, in November, I am turning 40 and I'm going to Japan. Would you like to come with me? I'm like, okay, that's a big deal. He's like, I know it's a big deal. I don't take it lightly. I was going to go alone. Think about it. I think about it. A couple weeks goes by. He flies back home to New Orleans. Before he leaves here, before he leaves LA, he's like, I want to be with you. I know long distance is hard, but this is what I want. And if that's what you want, then we can do this. I know it'll be hard, but blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, like, he's like, we can take this at your pace. I'm like, okay, let's step by step. Like, for now, let's just not have sex with anyone else. And then we'll, like, move into steps, but whatever. He goes back to New Orleans. For a few weeks, everything is fine. Then he's like, okay, we start talking about Japan. I decide, I'm like, I'm going to go. I'm in love with this man. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. I call him before we book the tickets and I'm like, hey, I want to be very, very, very clear that you're sure this is what you want. He was like, I have never been more sure about anything in my life. I know why you're scared. It's such a valid, I know it's crazy. I don't do stuff like this either, but like, it just feels right. And it did feel right. He books us tickets to Japan. One for him, one for me. $1,500 booked, okay? Didn't ask me for shit. I didn't do anything. He said, what dates do you want to go? I said, these dates. He was like, all right. A few hours later, he called me. He said, okay, I figured it out. It was a lot of work, but I did it. Our tickets are booked. Done. Now, I'm in love, okay? I'm like, this is it. This is the dream. I was thinking we were going to come back and married or something, okay? I can't get into the nitty gritty, but basically another month went by. We were doing long distance and he couldn't handle it. He got cold feet. He got nervous. He started to be like, he was like, it's too much pressure. I was like, this was literally 100% your idea. All of this was your idea. Then he calls me, we're trying to figure it out. And he's like, I think I just can't be as committed as I thought, but like, I want to be with you, but like, I can't be like as attentive as I want. And I'm like, I'm a grown woman. I'm 30 years old. Mind you, he's turning 40, so we won't talk about that. At this point, I'm like, okay, no. And I literally said to him, I was like, Brett, if you're not yearning for me, we are done. If you are not at giving me the level of love and adoration that I deserve, we can work through anything else. But if you're not yearning for me, you live across the country. I'm not doing it so I can worry about where you're at and who you're with. I don't do that. I'm a lover girl. If you're about me, you're about me, and that's it. And what I'm hearing is that you're not 100% about me, so I have to go, okay? That is when all the strings of Tik Toks started, where I was posting myself crying all the time because I was devastated because I was in love with this man and he pulled the rug out from under me and he said he wasn't gonna, but he fucking did, okay? Oh my God. So we stopped talking. We're no contact now. He reaches out to me a few days after we break up and he's like, because he didn't break up with me, but he was going to take steps back and like, I broke up with him, but it still feels like I got dumped. You know what I mean? He reaches out to me and he's like, hey, if you still want to go to Japan, I know you said you don't want to go together, but if you still want to go to Japan, I never paid him for it. The deal was that we were going to split the tickets,
But we never did that because it was so many months away and we were going to do it later. And then we ended up breaking up instead. So he reaches out and he's like, you can keep the ticket. To which I'm like, duh. It's the least you could fucking do. It's obviously, I was never going to send you a fucking dime, but okay. At this point in time, I don't know why, I go check a vision board that I made 3 years ago, okay? On this vision board is a picture of a passport. 3 years ago, I downloaded this photo from Pinterest and put it on a vision board. When I downloaded the passport photo, it was just a photo because like the girl's nails are done and they kind of look like how my nails, anyway. It is stamped to Japan, okay? The other thing that's on there is a stamp for the date for November 15th, which is literally when our trip was booked, which is when my passport would be stamped when I get to Japan, okay? So I'm like, I'm going. Right now, it is November 13th. I decided I'm gonna go. I've been planning my trip as much as I can. He canceled his flight because he has commitment issues and he gets cold feet. So he was gonna go alone. Now he's not going at all, or he's gonna go in January, supposedly. We'll see. That's not my business. I'm going alone. I've never been out of the country alone. I'm fucking freaking out. Okay, I'm having a lot of feelings. There's a lot going on. I'm emotional. Oh my God. Today's the 13th. I fly out tomorrow morning. I leave on the 14th. It's a big time difference, so when I get there, it'll be the 15th. Haven't talked to this man since we broke up. Guess who called me? Hey, I didn't answer. The fucking voicemail. Oh my God. Hey, it's Brett. He sounds all nervous. I just wanted to check in and see, wish you luck on your trip. And, hopefully maybe we'll talk soon. And hope you're doing well. I'm sorry. What? We're not friends. We're not homies, okay? You promised me the world and you can't cash the check, okay? And then you want to act like everything's chill? Everything is not chill, okay? I just made a 10-minute TikTok. I will keep you posted on how the rest of the trip goes because I'm freaking out and I have to finish packing and then I have to get up at the crack of fucking dawn. So I will let you know.
I told you we needed more glitter.
I've never had to file a police report. I suppose I just attempted to file one on Friday, against a man at my child's school. But I'm waiting on the officer to call me back to see if he's going to send an officer out to take my statement. I got a call Friday, early, like maybe 12:30 from the school police officer. Heart sank instantly. I'm like, what did my kid do? Was my first thought, right? Like, I never had the school police call. And it was actually about a man who, according to the police officer, has been grooming, that's the word he used, my child, and a few others, but my child was his favorite, apparently. This all happened last school year. I was never made aware of this. My child never told me this. And let me tell you why my child never told me this. Because my child stood up for herself and stood up for her friends against this man, who apparently had free reign of the school. He is a specialist for the SPED students and does assessments and floats throughout the campuses. So he's on all the campuses, the elementary school campus, the middle school campus, the 6th grade campus. The only campus he's not on is the high school campus. So this man has apparently been around my child a lot. And why that is, I don't know. She has no need for his services, and neither do her friends. He told her to sit in his lap one day when there wasn't an open seat. He tells her how beautiful she is and how lucky she is that she's smart and that she has the hair color that she has and she's so beautiful, and her friends are stupid because they're blonde or don't have a soul because they're gingers. Just on and on about the looks of these other children. Apparently my child is the only one he has tried to get to physically sit in his lap and do things with, which thank God my daughter knew that wasn't right and told him to his stupid face, "You're making me uncomfortable, leave me alone." She turned him into the principal. She turned him into teachers. And you know what they all told her? "You're blowing this out of proportion." I'm physically ill. These girls were made to feel like they were overreacting to this man who is in his 50s, who should have never been around them to begin with. And he comes to them at lunchtime usually, because once they sit down at a lunch table, they're not allowed to get back up or they get in trouble. So they felt like they had to stay in their seats, and he knew that, and that's why he went to them. So that is why I am just now finding out that this all happened last year, because my daughter didn't tell me. She knew it was wrong, but when she turned it in and the school was going to do nothing about it, she figured, okay, well, I'll just try to stay away from the man. So fast forward to this last Friday, I got a call that something had come up with this man at the elementary school, and it came out that some other things had happened that had included my daughter. And that's when I found out all the grooming that he had been doing to my child. Tell me why. When I asked where that man was in that moment, he said, "Oh, he's on campus right now." Tell me why he was on campus with my daughter still and all those other children when they had all these allegations against him. They told me it was a gray area. It's a gray area because it didn't get any further than that. But here's the thing. He works with SPED kids. That's special ed. A lot of those kids don't have a voice. My kid had a voice and it still didn't get heard. So why has he done to these kids that don't have a voice? And for some reason gotten away with it for all this time, because come to find out, he made a very inappropriate joke to a teacher at the elementary school. And she turned him in for it, and she ended up getting in a little bit of trouble, but he didn't. The only reason something came up from this was because she told another parent what had happened, and that parent blew it up. So the district's just sweeping it under the rug. And this is not a situation you ever think you're going to find yourself in. My daughter is 13. She just turned 13. She was 12 when this happened. And I thank God that she has the mouth on her that she does. Some days I'm like, oh, she's testing me. But now I'm like, she has that voice for a reason. And now it's gonna help get something done with this horrible man, I hope. So the school police officer, I need to calm down. School police officer called her and all of her friends in separately, without me knowing, without the other parents knowing, and questioned them. And that's when he called me and told me this. And he used the word grooming. So the fact that he used the word grooming but still allowed this man to be on campus is disgusting. It's disgusting. So I spoke with head of HR, Dr. So-and-so, and she said, I know for a fact. I said, is he still on campus right this minute? And she said, he just left. I said, okay, because I was on my way to pick up my daughter. She wasn't going to be there if he was going to be there. I said, is he coming back tomorrow? And she said, he's not supposed to be in tomorrow. He was already asked off. And I said, cool. Are you going to allow him back on the campus? And she said, well, if we do. And I was like, no, there's no if. There's no if. If you're trying to figure out if this man has hurt a child, and you have 6 little girls who have told you the same story over and over again without corroborating, because it happened last year, something is wrong. And you know something is wrong. She said, if he's allowed to come back on campus, it'll be with an adult. I said, no, absolutely not. I said, you need to promise me right now that you're going to call me and let me know if that man is going to be allowed on campus. Because if he is, my child will not be, and I will pull her from school. 100%. So I was considering waiting and just having a meeting with the school police officer. And then I was like, you know what? Why am I being calm, cool, and collective about this? I went straight to the police, and the police told me, oh, normally if it happened at school, the school police are the ones who take care of it. I said, cool, and what happens when they don't? And he said, well, you come to me next. And I was like, tag, you're it. They had a chance. They didn't take it. You're in. The way the conversation went, he was trying to be understanding, but he said, I need to speak internally with my team about this and I'll get back to you. Today is when he's supposed to get back to me about that. I have a funny feeling that he's going to come back at me and say that the school's going to take care of it, to which I'm going to have to go to the sheriff, the county sheriff. If county sheriff doesn't help me, I'm then going to go to the Rangers, the Texas Rangers. Obviously, I'm in Texas. I am also going to file grievance with the school board. I am also going to request a few other things. I don't know that I need to play all my cards right now. I'm not naming the school district at the moment, but I will if I need to. I need to see how they're going to handle this today. And if I don't see the progress that I need to see, and I'm not even just talking about this man, I'm talking about the principal and the teachers that my daughter turned this into, that they did nothing with this information. I don't know what else I can be doing. I think it's obvious that they're trying to downplay the situation. I think they don't want a scandal on their hands, but we're way past that. I don't care. What I care about is my daughter and her safety and her friends. And I just, like, if you guys have suggestions on what else I need to be doing, obviously this stuff doesn't move fast, but removing him from campus should have happened immediately. And it didn't. So if you guys have suggestions on what else I should be doing in this situation that I'm not already doing, please tell me. Because I'm not done, and I won't be done until he's removed and doesn't have a job anymore. I got nothing.